Hello, everybody. How you doing? Wee Paddy from across the shock, and I'm not running out of ideas yet. But I was having a hell of a thought this morning to what I would do a wee video about today. And what I have done, I've thrown a selection of knives down here, and they're knives that you maybe don't see a whole lot of on my channel after I've reviewed them. But they're knives that some of them I probably haven't even reviewed, but they're knives that I use. A lot of them are just budget knives, but they're the knives I'll use about the house. So the knives that I'll just throw in my pocket as an EDC knife. And they're maybe not nice. Some of them are cases and a buck. I've got a selection of different, and all I'm going to do is do a wee quick run through if there's any significance to them, or are they just budget knives that I like to collect. I have got lots of them. This is just a selection. So without further ado, let's go into it. I haven't got many modern here, but I've got a couple, and I'm going to start with this one. I actually put this wee finger clip on here to open this up. This is a Boker knife, a Boker Hausen. Let me see, that's got Boker on that side, beautiful blade, and the name is Hausen. Now, many of you who'll go back in my channel will realise that this is quite a special knife for me. This was given to me by one of my subs, and it's an actual limited edition Boker, and the name Hausen is the bit that sticks out. Hausen is the name of a man who used to work for Boker and do design, and when he died, they brought this out in a limited edition run for him, and it was particularly just to remember him by. Now, I don't know much about him, and I suppose I should have double-checked more on it, but I believe he was just a designer for Boker. But it is a beautiful knife with a lovely, it's not a half stop as such, but there is like a detenty feeling there. But it is a beautiful big UK legal carry knife, G10 handle, and usually with Boker it'll be 440C. In fact, I'm just having a look here, 440C. So an excellent everyday carry. What's the blade length? Just to double check that I'm telling the truth. Yeah, it's just over 2 3/4 inches long, a blade length. So a perfectly legal carry in the UK. Gorgeous knife. But I don't show it much because there's nothing flashy about it, and it's one of those knives that goes in the collection that I enjoy because I know the meaning of it, and to me it's just a special wee knife. That somebody would give that to me, I just find amazing. It's another knife that you don't see much of, and this is, I put this wee thing on here as well. This is the little Boker number 55, or not the Boker, the Buck number 55. A gorgeous little knife, a smaller version, the cut down version of the Buck 110, which I've never had yet, surprisingly enough, never had one. But this is an absolute beauty. It's not UK legal, but having this little thumb stud here really does give you great purchase. And this is a knife, again, that I will use on a regular basis, and I will carry as an EDC knife on a regular basis, but it doesn't make its way onto the channel an awful lot. And this is to let people know that although I've been getting, I do get quite a lot of higher end knives, I still have my foundation in budget and cheaper knives. I mean, Rough Riders, I've got a few here we'll go through. Look at that there. Isn't that just beautiful? A teardrop with a buckshot bone, real bone, half stops. Look at that blade. Isn't that just gorgeous? Who wouldn't like a knife like that? I mean, it really is. Centering pretty much up well, it's a bit to the left. Yeah, it is a wee bit to the left. Some of these wander off after a few years, like a lot of traditionals. They can wander a wee bit, but it doesn't affect the functionality of the knife. These are functional knives that are meant to be used. Here's one of the first Rough Riders I got, and I got this because it was in CV, and it's coated. It's a coated blade as well. But look at the shit, look at that there. It takes a wicked edge. An absolutely marvellous knife. The two-bladed canoe. Absolutely stunning. And it's in G10, polished G10. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the fit and finish on that. And these weren't given to me specially. I just bought these from Heine Haynes. Most of these knives are going to come from Heine Haynes. This is another one. Look at the back on that. Now this is a 15 to 20 pound knife. And again, probably much cheaper in the States. But look at that, and look at the mother of pearl and all in the centre of it. It's just abalone, I should say, mother of pearl either side of it. But just a beautiful, this is a four-bladed Congress. Beautiful knife, and some gorgeous blades on it. Look at that long pull on there. Look at that. It's a bit of a weaker spring in this, but this is a beautiful knife for doing a bit of, I know it's not supposed to be, but for whittling, you get different blade shapes. You have your pen blades. Look at that. All along, long pulls on them. Just excellent little knife for no money. But yet look how beautiful it is. I mean, and I still do. I know this, it sounds a bit freaky, I think, sometimes when you say it, but I do pick my knives out every now and then. I go through them, I have a wee stroke at them, I have a look at them, I get them out and just double check they're all right. Sometimes I can hear myself talking back, but it's the truth. I genuinely love it. Here's a knife here. Look at this. I don't know what this cost me about $5. I think I bought it off Whitby or something. I'm not sure what it was, where it was bought. There's no name on it. Doesn't even give a blade designation. The blade is not very hard at all. But I love this. You can see with the handle. This has been used and carried so many times. And if it's dirty work that I want to use a knife for to hook or clean something out, this is what I'll reach for. So it's a well-used knife and it costs nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's buttons. But look at that lovely blade on it and the shape of the handle. It's not a sway back, but it's a lovely jackknife. It's just a great pocket knife. Not centred. Who cares? I mean, it doesn't matter so much on these. It's only if you're going to buy the really high-end ones you'll want all that fit and finish. Like here's a high-end one that you never see that much of. And this is an RWL, I believe, steel. This is a Shatton Morgan Executive Jack. Look at that, and look at the bone. How beautiful. It's a little small blade in a sort of sleeve board pattern. You've got a wider at this end, thinner at this end. Sleeve board. It is just gorgeous in hand and a smaller blade. You don't always need a huge blade. This is just a beautiful pocket knife. And it's just a joy to take. And it's one that I'll take out usually on special occasions because I don't want to wreck. It's already got a bit of the Executive Jack starting to wear a wee bit. You can see on here where the Shatton Morgan, it's a bit lighter. But I'm still going to use it. I just don't want to wear it away too quickly. So it's used occasionally. Here's another knife here. This is an A.G. Russell. Now, truth be known, I don't know whether this is an A.G. Russell. It says it on it. But I bought this one from China, and I know his knives are made in China. The fit and finish of this knife is absolutely amazing. It's 12C27, and believe you me, I've tried it and cut with it, and it performs exactly like it. So whether this was a rip-off or from the same factory just being sold in China, I know he had recently passed away, so I don't know what the story is. But beautiful shield, lovely bone, just a stunning work knife. And you'll see quite a few of these blades are the Wharncliffe blades. I love a Wharncliffe blade, but I'm not completely hooked on them. Here's another knife you don't see too much on my channel. I don't talk about it too much. It has been recently. I've got it back out again, and I carried it the other day just to get back in the way of it again. It's a beautiful sailor's knife. It's from Ottermesser, a German company, made in Soligen. Absolute fit and finish to die for. Look at that blade centering. And I mean, this isn't a dear knife. Heine Haynes carries these. I don't know, I think about £40 or something, maybe a bit more. I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't checked. I just picked these out because they were knives that I don't get to show too much. Again, a super work knife. Super work knife. I'm not sure. It just says German steel on that, but believe you me, it does a day's work. It is properly centered. Beautiful knife. I put the little bail on it myself. This was off one of my wife's handbags, and just a little tab on it. So if I do put it in a slip, it's easy to pull out. Beautiful knife, brass inlay that you cannot feel the sides off. You couldn't tell me where that is with your eyes closed. It is beautiful workmanship, but yet not a lot of money. It really isn't. Look at the fit and finish on that. It is stunning. A lot of German companies. Germany has been making knives, pocket knives, for as long as the English nearly. Do you know what I mean? The Sheffield makers. And they just have, there's some companies there Ottermesser. I mean, you've got the Bokers. You've got all sorts that are just made professionally by artisans, sometimes by just great workmanship. The same standard of workmanship that I believe you're getting with GEC. But you don't hear a lot of people talking about them now. And I mean, let's go back. This was one of my first traditionals that I got on my channel, and this was given to me by a boy who's on, it used to be called Nicest Knives, and he's on Instagram now as Grumish from Liverpool. And he sent me this as a gift when I was starting my channel and saying that I wanted to try traditionals. And it's just a case, medium, what do they call them? Don't even know what they call them. The names just escaped me. Absolutely gone out of the head. But there we go. The most popular blade, and I've forgotten the name of it. But look at the centre of that. This is a case knife that is just perfect in every way. The backspacers, absolutely. So Case can do it. Do you know what I mean? Case really can do it. And I brought a couple of other ones that I've been lucky to get. Look at the space in that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that bone. It's like a strawberry. A beautiful, beautiful knife with a beautiful little Wharncliffe blade. Who wouldn't like that in their pocket? And who is that going to threaten in your office? Nobody. It's just a beautiful knife. And again, part of my collection that'll never leave. This is another one. And the camera really doesn't do the blue. This is a Mediterranean blue. This is one of the Case Vault patterns. And it's got the lovely little shield there with a case in it. And look at that there. Isn't that just a beautiful knife? Again, fit and finish on this is really good. There's one little gap at the top there, but I was sold this as a second by the slip joint guy, so I knew it was there. But a beautiful knife, really well made knife, carried a lot of times by me as secondary knives, because sometimes I go on Instagram and I don't always put my secondary knives up. I just put pictures up of the knives or a knife that I'm carrying that day. But I usually have 2 or 3 knives on me at any one day because I'm weird. This is one of the new Brother ones, and this is the one in the bone. I just showed the carbon fibre one. This bone is just gorgeous. Absolutely love it. With a big Wharncliffe. Look at that there. Isn't that just a lovely knife? Really, really attractive knife. I love it. Again, fit and finish, really, really good from Brother. Look at the back of that. And I mean, this is a £30 knife, a $35 knife. Absolutely stunning. So if you are just around and you're into knives and you've been using just modern knives, what I'm trying to say is you can go out there today and you can pick up knives that are £30, £40 that are perfect for the channel, but they're also, they'll get you into another form of collecting that you maybe haven't thought that you like. And until you get some of these in hand, like, here's another one. Here's another Boker knife. Again, nearly all these sort of knives, you can get them on Heine Haynes. And I'm saying that because for the people over here, if you're new to the channel, we've got a discount with Heine Haynes through my channel. There's a description down below on the link. Go there and you get a wee bit of money off, a couple of pound off each knife. And it just all adds up. But this is a Boker knife, a little Boker Barlow. And it's one of the best made knives I have. And yet it's only about 50, 60 quid. But I mean, it really is a beautiful blade in 440C. So you don't have to worry about it rusting. And again, that's the other thing. You don't have to always get the carbon steel blades. I mean, the Case blades are probably 440A. To be honest, that's what they are. And they're every bit as good. They are as good. But Rough Riders Fit and Finish is now matching. In a lot of their knives, it's now matching Case. So this will cost you maybe 60 quid and a Rough Rider will cost you 15. So, I mean, you can get started. And honestly, once you get that bug, I have really been taking this last year and a half, I've been taken on a journey I didn't think I want to. Because I'm in the UK and we have the restriction of non-locking knives. These are perfect because most of them are not. I think there's only one that's locking. But these are knives that you can carry anywhere, nearly anywhere in the world, because they're under 3 inches, they're non-locking, they're non-threatening. You pull them out in the canteen, they're not going to scare anybody. And then some of the other ones, there's an Electricians Knife. I remember I tried for years to get one of these. I'd seen them on people's channels, couldn't get them. Look at this old boy. Isn't this just beautiful? Now, it's a bit worse for wear, but It actually needs a blooming good oil in, which it's going to get directly I finish here. Look at that big screwdriver. You've got a bit of a blade here. It is absolutely great big screwdriver. Just an old-fashioned electrician's knife. The screwdriver is locking. And I can't get it unlocked. There we go. My gosh, Stephen, I need to get oil on that. That's terrible. So that's going to be oil. I'm going to set that to the side as soon as I finish from here. What other knives? Here's two beautiful old knives. What do you see this? Look at this. Now these knives are about 80-year-old. I've no exact date, but they're about 80-year-old. I picked these up. This is a tailor's eyewitness. A little sheep's foot and a pen blade. In perfect condition. The blades were great. The fit and finish of these is not great. It's a bit bendy, this stuff. Whatever this cover is, it's a resin, but it's malleable a bit. But this knife, when it's opened, when this blade is opened, you can see that there's gaps there, but there's no movement in that blade whatsoever. It's a great little knife to have in your pocket, and I often carry it as a secondary knife. Tailor's Eyewitness, an old Sheffield company. Here's another one here. This is it's ERA, it's James Barber, another old Sheffield cutler. Somebody had broken this off. I reground this, so this is a sharp blade all the way around now. Again, is it perfect? No. But does it cut? Yes. A little pen blade. But that little blade, even though I've had to grind it away. Look, you can actually see where it's to bow now. But it's a great little blade. Again, a secondary knife. You bring that out to cut something or you give it to somebody, it's not going to frighten them. The fit and finish in this one is amazing. It's amazing. This cost me £5. Do you know what I mean? In a second-hand shop. And I started going around. I bought both these in second-hand shops for £5 to £10 is all you're going to pay for them. Are they the best knives in the world? These are really, really good knives. And in their day, I would say they would have been excellent knives because they're just a good pen knife. They're just a good pen knife. The carbon steel blades absolutely take a wicked edge. And they really do take a wicked edge. So this is just a thought process, especially for, again, in these times you're getting an awful lot of people who are maybe new to it and they think they have to start with high-end knives. You don't. You don't. And there's a following out there for, pen knives and pocket knives. And then there's somebody like myself who does both. So there's always a gap in the market and people like to see, even people who don't collect them, will enjoy seeing older pen knives, newer pen knives, because they will carry them. People will carry a pen knife. And I think the more and more of us do, it's a great way of getting started to get somebody used to carrying a pen knife. I mean, you and I know that carrying a pen knife is invaluable. You use it all the time. And the more you carry it, the more uses you find for your knife. And the more times you'll use it. So to get somebody started, buy them a Rough Rider. Go on China, buy them there. But you can get most of these from Heine Haynes, a local company over here. You've got so many companies in America, but you can buy cheap, inexpensive knives that are good quality, i.e. Rough Riders, case knives, although their fit and finish at the minute is not great. But they're still a good pen knife for somebody who's not as fussy as maybe we are. A buck knife, you couldn't go wrong with that. And it's a beautiful looking knife. Brass and wood. This doesn't weigh a lot like the big 110. Now this is illegal here, but it's just a great little work knife. Great little work knife to keep in your drawer in the house. An absolute star. The heat treat on there, 420, is it 420 HC, is really, really good. Lasts a good long while. But some of these other knives that have got really good state, the 440C, I think is a great pen knife steel. I wish it was used more. The Boker knives are just smashing value. But again, there's a selection. I hope you enjoyed seeing this little selection. They're just knives. I have a lot of knives that don't get a lot of time on the air. These are ones that I tend to use. Do you know what I mean? I use these and intersperse them with a bigger knife. So there you go. I hope you are all keeping well. I hope that wasn't too much of a boring video, but it's just to let you see that you don't have to collect these big expensive all the time. And especially now when a lot of people have lost their jobs and lost their work and they can't afford to buy the better knives or the better quality knives for their channel. Diversify. Try, if you've never tried a penknife, a sort of traditional penknife, now is the perfect time to try them for your channel, for yourself, for everyday use. They are smashing, and you have a huge variety. And again, like all the other knives, you can go right up to customs that cost you thousands. But there's a better, from 0 to 100, there is so many different knives that you can buy that are good quality that will do you a day as a pocket knife. There you go, Paddy's gone. A wee bit of waffle again for today. Again, thanks to everybody who's helping us and looking after us. All the care workers, all the shop assistants, the bin men. I keep saying it. I really, really appreciate what you're doing for me and my family. Thank you so much. Take care. Paddy's away. Have a lovely cup of strong tea waiting there to be drunk. All the very best. Bye now.